Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm going to be testing F1 2018 on the Geforce GTX 750 Ti. I'll be doing 1080p, 900p and 720p. To skip to not those sections of the video, check the timestamps down in the description. So this video will be using two configurations per resolution. So I'll be doing a configuration to be close to 60 frames per second, and then I'll just crank up the settings, trying to be over 30 frames per second, getting the best graphics possible. But on 1080p, the GTX 750 Ti has some overclock applied to it. I added 200 MHz to the core and 400 MHz to the VRAM. So on 900p and 720p the overclock is completely disabled, and while on 720p you can use significantly higher settings to be over 30 frames per second or maintaining 60. But my recommendation, as always, if you can, just overclock the card by default. Even if you play at a resolution of 900p, it always helps on games like this that are GPU bound. So yeah, if you want higher settings, I recommend lowering the resolution to 720p. If you want higher resolutions and don't care that much about the settings, just use 1080p or 900p. All my videos testing F1 2018 will be pretty much a side-by-side comparison on a clear weather and rain, but the interesting thing in this game is that there's not a massive difference in performance. For example, on Project Cars 2, if it's raining, there's usually a massive FPS hit due to the extra reflections and all that kind of stuff. So it won't be exactly the same on each of the sides, because the race goes on differently due to the rain. The cars go slower, which makes sense. It's just to see how the game performs on each of those instances, depending on the settings, because there's more reflections on the rain area and different lighting on the clear weather. Well, in the options menu I have some recommendations for you. First of all, SSRT shadows, just turn them off. I didn't see a huge difference visually, but it has an impact in performance, so I recommend just avoiding that option altogether. Then the biggest boost in performance you can get from a single option is vehicle reflections. From ultra high to high, you usually get upwards of 10 FPS more, so you can really help you to get better performance. Then lower shadows from ultra high to high, and ambient occlusion from HBAO plus to on. And that's usually the best way to get a decent boost in performance. The other options that can give you an impact are screen space reflections, smoke shadows, particles, especially in moments where there is rain going on. And well, other than those options, the ones I didn't mention, just lower them in groups if you need more FPS. But those mentioned are usually the biggest impacts in performance. In my opinion, this game looks a little better than the previous one. It seems to be better optimized overall, especially for lower end cards. So that's always good to see when a game performs a little better than the previous one and it looks better. And on the texture option, I recommend using high for 3 gigs of VRAM video cards, medium for 2 gigs, and ultra high for 4 GB video cards on 1080p. If you're going for 1440p or 4K, well, you'll have to lower the texture quality on 3 gigs of VRAM and 2 gigs video cards, so be aware of that. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you keep enjoying the video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Bye.